Hey guys, Dawna here. Thank you for joining me on another video. Today we are going to talk about my first official thriller release. It was Descend that released Halloween Day of 2021. I know that everybody who read this book said, please don't make us wait a whole year to get the second book, but that is exactly what I'm doing. You have to wait until Halloween Day of 2022 to get the second book. I'll have pre-orders coming up soon for that. The third and final book in that thriller series is going to release March of 2023. So I'm gonna not make you wait a full year for the third book. And then after that, whenever I have a series, we're gonna start a new series every Halloween. And then I'll release the subsequent books in March and September. So you won't have to keep waiting for a full year for these books. But we're going to talk about Descent and how I came to get to writing that book here in just a minute. Before that, let's do a little bit of housekeeping. The first part of my housekeeping being that the full audiobook for Something So Beautiful will be on YouTube probably next week. I did figure out how to get it into one video altogether. So if you've already listened to the first 15 chapters, whenever I upload the full audio, all you have to do is just skip ahead. If you haven't listened to the first 15 chapters and you want to do that, I'll probably just leave that video up for anybody who just wanted to get maybe a preview. You can just watch that video, but I will get the other one up for you. Next part of our housekeeping would be digital rights management, DRM. I thought I knew what that was, and then in I believe it was a chat on maybe the Alliance of Independent Authors, I realized that actually we should not have that enabled whenever we upload our manuscripts to different retailers. And if you know what DRM is and you do not buy books that have it enabled, you know why an author should not have that enabled on their books. I was under the impression that it was a good thing. So I now know better. Moving forward, my next book comes out September the 1st of 2022, marked by forever. I will not enable that unless I've already done so. I do have a pre-order up, I think only on Amazon right now. I'll have it on the other retailers soon. And I won't enable the DRM on those. If I've already done them on Amazon, you can. Once it's enabled, you're not allowed to take it off. But you can go to my website, leedawnabooks.com, and purchase the book there. And there is no DRM, and you can side load and do all those things that I don't know what any of that is, because I like to read on Kobo, and a lot of times I use my laptop. Go to the Kobo store, purchase the book that I want, then get out my Kobo e-reader and just sync. And I know that's complicated, but it's usually the way that I do it because I don't know. I don't like shopping like on phones. Like I usually don't do much of anything at all on my phone. Check emails, but usually I don't even respond to an email from my phone. I'll just look at it and then star it, so that I know, like, okay, I need to go to get out my laptop and respond to that email. But anyway, teach their own. If DRM is an issue for you and you've looked at any of my books and said, oh, I can't buy that because it was enabled and it doesn't suit how you need to read your books, no worries, just go to my website, and then moving forward, you will be able to get it from whatever retailer. But I obviously prefer if you buy it from me directly, because that's the easiest way to support authors, is to buy direct. Okay, moving on. So when I have a thriller book that I'm writing, it comes to me in a very different way than, say, any of the romantic suspenses or any of the other kind of books that I have. The thrillers, I always see the ending of them, and then I'm backtracking to figure out what all happened to get to this end. It's fascinating to me because all the other books just sort of start at the beginning, and it's literally from the first sentence just moving forward, moving through to the end. But the thriller books, it's always the opposite. It's just visualizing that end and then working backwards. And so on Descend, I love this book so much, and it's one of those things that you have the vision, you jot down the notes, and then I guess a couple of things were happening. One, I wasn't sure that I could truly write a thriller, but over and over and over again, that's what I'm hearing from my readers. That's what you like about my writing. You want more of it. So I'm absolutely going to deliver that because I love this stuff. And I knew the first thriller that I would put out would be Descend. It is my hidden thriller series. It is a serial killer thriller, and it's set in a small town. And it's not a police procedural. You get a lot of the serial killer books that are done from like the perspective of an FBI agent or law enforcement. And this one is more centered around a motorcycle club. And the motorcycle club, they were not meant to be the stars of this book. There is the cousin of the head of the motorcycle club. It is really her story. But what happened is, so I had the ending of this book, and I knew who all of sort of the main cast of characters were. But there was a mental block. I couldn't finish this. I couldn't write it because I was just, something didn't feel right. It was off kilter. And what I was trying to do is not have the motorcycle club. They were just kind of going to be a mention, just sort of this passing glance, because I personally don't read a lot of motorcycle club fiction. But one day, again, visualizing these characters, they are front and center in your mind, talking to you. They're basically real people. And I saw the head of the club and his right-hand man, and they're just sitting there and they're telling me, do you really think that we would let Tessa, the main character in the book, whose story this is supposed to be, they said, do you think that we would let her go through any of these things without us? And the answer is no. She's really one of them. She's part of their club. And so once that clicked, and I was like, of course the club is a part of this book. I wrote this book faster than any book I have ever penned. The rough draft, revisions, getting it to the editor, getting that back, everything happened so quickly. And that's the only reason that I went ahead and published it last year. Normally, I would not have tried anything like that because I'm not the fastest writer. It takes me a while. And so I only wanted to commit to 2 books a year. But these thriller books are just something, they're a different beast. And they happen, just the pace is a lot faster, and they're really fun to write. And I love this book so much. And overwhelmingly, everybody who's reading it, you guys love it. Now, this cover is the cover that I originally saw. And if you watch my other videos, you know, everything I do, I'm very passionate about. And so I knew that the cover wasn't really one genre for a thriller. It sort of has that Mortal Kombat feel to it. And I knew a lot of people would probably pass over it because they thought it was maybe fantasy, and that isn't what they read. But it isn't fantasy. It's just a straight up thriller. And I did have my cover designer recover it for me so that it would be on brand. So when you go to the retail stores and things like that, this is the new cover. The next two books will be in this style of a cover. So any retailer that you get the books from, this is the cover that you're going to get. The only way that you can get the special, original, limited edition, original cover is from my website, leedawnabooks.com. I am going to do something special, probably on Kickstarter with the set, because I cannot express how much I love this book. The ending is so, so good. I've had a lot of people tell me they never saw it coming. Other people are like, oh, we kind of suspected, but it still kind of blew us away. So check it out, guys. It's on my website, and you can get the paperback or the ebook. I will put the audio for these out once I get the third book in the set published. I'll put that out just as one package for you. And again, I think I'm going to do some things on Kickstarter, maybe do a hardback with a really special cover that's going to be like the original, because this is what I personally love. And so I think I'll probably do either a hardback that has all 3 books in it, or an actual box set with the actual box on the outside of the paperbacks, and have them all have a cover like this, so it's all limited edition and special. Something like that we're going to do on Kickstarter with this one. I don't know when that will be. I think I have some other projects that I'm going to do on Kickstarter before I do anything with Descend. But if you haven't read Descend yet, definitely get a copy of it. The second book will be out Halloween Day, so mark your calendar for that. But I did start a Shopify store. In fact, I got this hoodie from the Shopify store. Shopify isn't going to be the solution to the book issue that I thought it was going to be. So my Shopify store is not public, and I'm probably not going to put any of my actual books on there yet. I'll have some clothing. Eventually, I'll have some puzzles and different things. I have a lot of ideas. I just need the time to get them all done. But eventually, I will have that Shopify store up and running, and you can stay up to date on all the news and know what's happening, know when my podcast is launching. I'm getting ready to record the first episode of that, and I'm really excited. So join my newsletter list. I will keep everybody updated on what's happening there. And until next time, take care, guys. Bye.